It's so very nice to meet you, finally get to see you, so very nice.
Hello, Sarah. Thank you for joining us today, for joining me
Hi.
today. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I just had my second cup of coffee, so I'm doing great.
Hey, Sunday morning. That's good. Well, yeah, so I just wanted to thanks for joining me this morning and to answer some questions. You know, we've got our concert coming up on Wednesday, February 16th, and you're going to be in LA starting Monday and come to CSArts on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited and just learning the music and getting things ready. I'm really looking forward to it. So in preparation of that, I just wanted to ask you a few questions and have a conversation about your experience in the music industry, but also about this concert and what you're looking forward to about it.
Great.
Cool.
I'm so looking forward to the trip and for meeting all the students and working with them and performing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, first question, I'm sure you get this one a lot, but what's your story? Like, how did you get into music and end up where you are today?
Well, I think like a lot of musicians, you know, I come from a musical family, and we were all playing and singing in church when I was little. I'm from Indianapolis. And, you know, at some point, we all decided both, I say we all, because my sister and brother also sing. They're not professional musicians by trade, but we all decided, you know, we really love singing so much. We want to continue this. And we were able to go to in Indianapolis, they had public magnet schools.
Nice.
So yeah, my middle school and high school were performing arts schools that you could audition for and attend. And they were public. So it was, you know, open, which was great. And I was able to get, you know, lessons, music lessons, and learn how to read music and sing in choirs and all of that. And then I just loved absorbing anything that I could about music. I just loved singing and loved music and listening to music, all styles, growing up in that musical household. And I went on to attend Indiana University for classical voice, because those were the lessons that I got from the magnet school, even though it was, you know, immersed in lots of different styles. And that didn't work out for very long. I enjoyed, you know, I love the discipline of classical music, but I felt out of place there. And I left after a couple years and joined this band that was kind of like a pop band and was touring around, and they were called the Nods. And I toured with them for like a year or two, and then I moved to Chicago and ended up finishing school at Columbia College. I got a scholarship to go to Columbia College in Chicago, which had a different vibe altogether for music. And they have a big jazz program there. So I studied jazz there. And from then on, I started working in the field immediately. I just taking gigs, jazz gigs in Chicago, and building up a reputation there, and just kind of taking anything I could. I did a couple competitions. I was in the Thelonious Monk jazz competition in DC. And then I was in the Montreux jazz competition, which was overseas. And I won that competition. And from then on, I was able to have the funding to record music and play festivals. So I've been doing that, you know, for probably 12 years now. I've been in the industry, outperforming and doing all kinds of things.
Thank you. That's awesome. That's such a cool story. And, you know, what I heard in that was our motto for the Vocal Arts Conservatory is sing outside the box. And we want to make sure that our kids aren't just, you know, it sounds like your school is very classically oriented. And we have that. And, you know, we teach our kids music theory, and it's really important that they have musical literacy and things like that and technique. But if classical music isn't your thing, then go do something else. And I think in academia, a lot of the time, you know, thank goodness there are schools like Columbia and Berkeley and other places like that allow you to explore the commercial side of things. But I love that you like realized that and followed what you love to do and didn't just take what was offered is what you're going to do.
For sure. And I will say that, what I learned about the discipline of your instrument from those classical studies has helped me just with my staying power as a vocalist and as a singer, this whole time. I've been able to because it's a very important, the health of your instrument's very important. So as you know, vocal health is important. And I learned a lot of those skills. So, it wasn't for me, but also I was able to take a lot of great tips and studies from that.
And I think that's what we have to understand and realize, is that every facet of the music industry, or vocal music, has things you can learn from it. Like classical or bel canto, whatever you want to call it, is really heavy on technique and knowing your instrument and your body and the anatomy and things like that. So yeah, I could talk about that all day, but I guess we're going to talk about a concert.
Right.
But these are things we can talk about in the classroom too. I think it's so cool, because I think that our kids are going to see a future in what you talk about, because that's something that they want a career in music. A lot of them do, not all of them, but you really do have to pave your own way. And like you said, just pick up gigs and be available, and there's no one right way to do it.
You learn, and it's a good time now for kids, I think, to know, now that you have to have some business skills. The way that the industry is now, you have to have some business skills. You can't just show up and be really talented and have somebody, that does happen, but it's always good to have as much knowledge as you can about the industry and how that works on the business side of it, because knowing that is only going to help your just comfort level for being artistic. It's hard to be, when you're stressed out about the money and how you're going to pay your band, or how if someone's going to steal your music if you write music. It's hard to let your sensitive artistic soul come out. I know that from my own experience as well.
Well, and that, I think about the classic parent from the movie that won't let their kids be a musician because it won't make them money, or things like that. And that is a real thing. You have to make a living. So knowing the business side for sure, and knowing all of the different opportunities that exist in music too. With choral music, and that's the point that we really try to teach, is that if you're a versatile musician, you're going to get hired.
Yeah, and there's tons of music is everywhere, and there's tons of there are tons of opportunities people don't even know about, where you can actually make a good living doing certain things. And I always say, you have, and I heard this from a teacher at Columbia, you have big eyes and big ears, which is meaning musically, yes, good ears, but also listening for opportunities, watching out for opportunities. You see something, you're not sure about it, calling and following through with something, because there's all kinds of great ways to just, feed your soul musically and also make a living.
Yeah. And that's the other side of it too, is I feel like a musician has to want to share that. It can't be just about the money. That's a whole other side of it. It's the business, the business side, but also the changing the world side, or the making the world a better place through our music side, which leads us really to, I think, this concert that we're doing. I'm just interested to hear your story with how this all happened, because it just fell out of the sky. And I think it's so cool how we're just making this happen off some emails or social media.
Yeah, it's cool how the train is running now. So I just, I'm on Instagram, and one day I started getting all these direct messages from strangers, and they were all kind of drafted the same way, really polite. I am this person from Duarte High School, and we watched your Skin Deep video, which was there's a platform called Playing for Change, where the people who run it gather musicians from all around the world, and they travel and record them singing the same song, and then they mix it together, and it is always this kind of beautiful work of art. And I was very lucky to be able to perform in one of those videos. It was Buddy Guy's song Skin Deep. And a teacher from Duarte showed that video to his students. The teacher's name is Joe Kenny, and the students really liked it, and they messaged me, and it became kind of a project of theirs to see if I would come and perform for them. So I got all these messages, and usually maybe if I had one message, I might, I don't know, like if this is real, if this is a scam or what. But it's like all these messages, and they all had like great form in their conversation. And I emailed one back. I emailed a lot of them back, or messaged a lot of them back, because I did get some emails as well, and messaged them back and said, okay, I don't know, but let me talk to your teacher and we'll see. And so then I connected with Joe. And from then on, he kind of gave this opportunity. Look, we raise money for our partner schools in El Salvador and Ghana. We are actually also like a sister school with CSArts, which maybe there's opportunity there. And that's how we were connected as well. And it became this thing where we're going to put this concert on, we're going to raise money for the schools. And then from then it grew even more with our introduction, Kirk. And then the opportunity to go to CSArts and, you know, do some workshops there and sing with the choirs, which also was like, you know, at first it was like, okay, maybe I'll go and we can make it happen, raise some money, I'll sing for a concert. Now we're adding this, you know, extra awesome thing, which I absolutely love, workshopping with students, anything, songwriting, performing, industry, like just talking to them and see how they feel, you know, as singers. And then culminating with this performance where we all get to sing together, you know, it's going to be so much fun. Yeah. So that's how it went down.
Cool. Yeah. I love it. I think it's just in the spirit of collaboration and being willing to take a chance. But it really, I think at the core of this, we want to make this a good experience for our students and let them see that, you know, you can do anything. Look at what happened from some messages. And follow your idea. If it's something you believe in, go for it.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world.
The choir element. So I heard you say that you sang in choir growing up. Was it in church or did you in school as well?
Yes, in church and school. I mean, I was in a really, really small Baptist church where they had like a kid choir. There were like 10 of us. And it was really small. So it wasn't like a, you know, very large choir. But then I sang in choirs, like a madrigal group in high school, and and then at IU, I sang with the African American Choral Ensemble, which was a very big choir that was all, you know, you're learning just about African American music, you know, in different eras, choral music in different eras. And then I sang in a gospel choral group called Sojourner, that was like a subgroup of African American Choral Ensemble. And then, you know, I used to do worship leading at a church called Urban Village Church. And I had a choir there that I led. That was, you know, it was a volunteer choir. It was so much fun just being able to, you know, just singing together is like its own form of prayer and meditation. So yeah, and I don't get to do it very often, you know, sing with a big group of people or a large number of people. So I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Yeah, well, we're excited about seeing in the background because the arrangements are all ones you made for us, which is also just another cool part of this collaboration, that we're getting to do covers that you've done that, you know, our kids really wouldn't get to sing in a background like this, but that is an element of choral singing and the ensemble singing that in our 10th grade, we have a background vocals class. So it's cool for them to actually step up now and and be the background vocals.
See what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about some of the songs you'll be singing at the concert and why you chose them, if there's like a message around them or theme.
Yeah, I am singing a mix of my own songs and some cover songs. Like we of course are going to do Skin Deep. That
Yeah.
choral arrangement's actually from the Chicago Children's Choir. But and then I'm doing some of my favorite covers that I've sang a lot on, or I've sang many times, which is Have You Ever Seen the Rain, Creedence Clearwater Revival, which I had so much fun writing a part for the choir for that. And, you know, I love Tears for Fears, so we're doing Everybody Wants to Rule the World,
Yeah.
and then my own songs as well. And I think, and I can speak on those songs in a moment, but I think a lot of the songs that I'm drawn to are songs that really either tell a story or make you feel something with the lyrics and the music together. You know, I mean, I love a great song where I don't really know what the lyrics are about, but the music is like, you know, is great. And vice versa. But usually I just can't help but be drawn to a song where it's like, wow, these lyrics and the melody together are really making me feel something. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I really want to be able to get that out with the choir as well. And my own songs, they're like love songs, not necessarily romantic love, but just about feeling, you know, the way that you feel. I have a song called All of Us that I wrote, is actually based off of a story from a storytelling series that I do called Story Jam. And it's the storyteller is gay, and him and his husband were visiting a place and were horribly discriminated against. And I was matched up with his story, and it just spoke to me and just my own experience playing music in an LGBTQ community. And I wrote that song kind of as like a love letter to the LGBTQ community. Songs they're songs about love, and they're heart songs. They're my heart songs. So, and we have the band that's playing, you know, we got to make sure we talk about that.
That's on my questions.
Is that your question list? Yeah.
Go ahead if you want to.
So at first I was going to just come and do this as a solo, just play solo. But then now knowing, okay, we're working with CSArts and the choirs, and now we're going to do these arrangements. This could be really fun. I said, okay, we got to bring some instrumentalists in as well. So I was able to get Christian Newman on drums, who is, you know, touring with Jacob Collier. He's not touring on February 16th, Amazing. But very soon he's about to be on the road. And then Anna, and I don't want to mispronounce her last name. So her name's Anna, either Butters or Buteres. I'll find out from her. And she also plays, she plays with Jeff Parker and Jenny Lewis. And then Stu Mindeman, who is the pianist that I usually work with here in Chicago. And he's Kurt Elling's pianist as well. And he plays with lots of great musicians. He's able to come and play. So having
cool.
that, you know, band that's going to be playing with us and, you know, back in the choir is going to be, I think it's going to be a really special evening of music.
Yeah, just listening to the tracks and getting it up and going with the kids I just see the show. I'm so excited about it. And that's one of the reasons I want to do this interview, is to really let people know what they're going to hear and be a part of that night.
Nice to have the time, a gift to call you mine, to feel you here to show you it's alright.
One of my favorites, chorale, the SSA choir, they're doing So Very Nice, which you say is it's one of the Oh Yes, which I guess is like a trio you sing with.
Yes.
So, but the harmonies and like the feeling behind it and the beauty of it, they love that song. They're even gonna, like I said, do it on their spring concert because immediately they just took to it. And I think that speaks to what you're singing about. And I talk to them all the time about text and music, and what makes what we do so special is we have the words, and words have power. Like music and the way it moves and the harmonies and things like that has power too, but mixing it together with words and having intention behind those words, like with Skin Deep when we close with that piece, I think that it's really going to be a powerful moment because of what we're singing about and how it sounds. So pumped. And then also just the musicians that you're bringing, like, wow. I think, thank you for setting that up. And I know the kids are going to be, and everybody is going to be better for being there that night and experiencing that. Is there a routine in your music that you do every day that you say, like, I have to do this, or that there's something that makes you a better musician that's part of your practice?
I mean, I have to learn. Right now, things are kind of different because we have I have a almost 5-year-old daughter and an 8-month-old son. So, and my husband is also a musician. So we're kind of just like, we have lowered expectations about how much like we practice or, we're trying to make it work, and we'll figure out our normal soon. And we're very happy to expand our family, but I always make sure that I try and sing a little every day. And some days right now, that's just me like humming while I'm washing the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually just try and sing something, which is great because my kids end up getting exposed to a lot of music. And I sing in an event band, like, weddings and big corporate kind of events. And I have to learn new songs every week, people's special requests. And that's one branch of the industry that I work in that I'm very grateful for. And it works a different part of my musical brain. And so while I don't sit down at the piano and practice every day and warm up every day, I definitely get my brain working by learning a new song every week, learning the lyrics, going over old music when I can sit down. I mean, those are, I know that's not really a daily routine because I don't have one exactly right now. But I always make sure before performance that I warm up. I drink a lot of water. I try and rest as much as possible. It's like any instrument you have, like you'd never take a guitar to a club out of its case on your back. I treat my voice the same way. If I'm sick, if I stay up too late because like my baby is up all night, I have prepared myself at this point. If I have a show the next day, I know my voice. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make sure that I maybe talk up here and I stay quiet as much as possible. And I really warm up very gently before I perform. I'm going to drink extra water. That when I can take 10 minutes to just starfish on the bed, I'm going to do that, and just be like, rest my body because my body needs to have energy to perform and to sing. So I know it's kind of like all general stuff, but sometimes that's like the world that you're living in as a performer is, those kinds of things.
But I love to sing a little bit every day, that just like a workout. It's just showing up and doing it, and you can do it anywhere, literally.
You can. And I mean, I always switch out songs. Like there was a while where I was playing a lot of jazz shows. I'd have like 4 shows a week, and I would always just warm up in the shower and to that song, Pure Imagination. Some
good intervals in there.
Because you're jumping, and sometimes, by the time I sang through that a couple times, I was ready, I of course wanted to warm up more, but sometimes like that's what it is. But as long as you kind of get your voice moving, even like lip buzzes or just humming, it's better than not. You'll lose it. You got to practice at some,
Yeah.
but you kind of learn to do that. I've learned over the years, you
Yeah,
know your
it
own
becomes
voice, you know what
habit.
you can do. I know you're going to ask me questions, but I'm going to have to know like about you and your background and your music. Like, how did you get to become a choral teacher and a music teacher? Because from the stuff you sent me, from the videos that I saw, I mean, you are an amazing choir director, like so connected with the music and with the kids and just like making it happen,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. It's what I love to do. I'll give a quick little answer to that, but I grew up in church singing and school choir, like so many people do. And I grew up in a tradition that had no instrumental music. So it was like all a cappella singing, which is where I learned to really hear harmonies. And there was no choir because it was only the congregation that sang together. But it's where I learned to read music too. So just like always having a hymnal in front of me and being interested and listening and trying to figure it out. But just the sound of a bunch of voices together was always a sound I wanted to be a part of or work with. And I always tell people that in 6th grade is when I knew I wanted to teach choir, because when Napster was a thing, I was like not downloading NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I was downloading all-state choral albums and like burning them and taking them to my teacher. But thank God for that middle school music teacher. Her name's Rita Fintris, who said, you need to go into piano lessons and you should audition for this choir. And she just like connected me with my passion. And since then it's been what I wanted to do. I did my undergrad in music education and a master's in choral conducting, and then taught in Boston for about 5 years. And we moved here in 2019. And the position at CSArts came open and applied. And here we are. This is my first year.
Awesome.
Yeah. And these kids, I mean, it's just amazing to work with these students because you've heard them. They really can sing, and they love singing in a choir. And it's like you're with your people, they just love to be a part of it. And it's so easy to make music when the buy-in is there and the excitement about the same things are there. Okay. I just have one more question, Sarah. Thank you for your time. Seriously.
My pleasure.
What keeps you singing? Like, what is it about singing that just keeps you coming back to it?
Wow. I mean, it's really a part of me. I mean, there are so many facets to what makes a person who they are. And music, I think, is in me. And it's such a relationship that I've had with myself, with music, my whole life, and it's enriched my life, and also given so much to other people, I think. And I think I can't imagine, like, I know at some point I might not be able to sing as well as I want to, I mean, it is physiologically like impossible. The flower will bloom at some point, with age. And I mean, the kids, you guys don't have to think about that right now, but I just love it so much. And being able to grow as a human being and with music as a songwriter and a singer, I have to do it. Even when I having these children and taking time to be with them because I want to be with my family, and taking time off, it's still a part of my life in some way. And I just know and feel in my DNA that is gonna always be a part of my life, no matter what it looks like and how it's gonna change and shift and transform throughout my life, So did that answer your question? That's why I keep coming back to it.
But I think singing is at the core of this, and that's my number one goal as a teacher, is to give my students the tools to continue singing, like wherever they want to do it, if they want to read music and like engage with music and love music. Um,
it's such a wonderful gift, you know,
mhm.
singing. In 2020, my husband and I just were not working at all. And I know a lot of musicians, it was very, you know, besides just what was happening with COVID, it was just sad for them, you know, even though if you could stay healthy, wonderful, but like it was sad to not be out performing because that's what you do.
Mhm.
But being able to play our instruments and sing in the house, just in the house, in the dead of winter when everything's shut down in Chicago, and in the heat of summer when you want to be out having fun and you couldn't,
Yeah.
it was like it lifted us up in the house. We had so many dance parties where we were just singing at the top of our lungs with the family, and it kept us, you know, it sustained us. So it's such a good, you know, if you love singing, and even if you can't sing and you just sing at home, like it's okay. Like, you know, it's such a skill that you can learn. It's natural, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just so rewarding.